Heh.
Hey, what's up, YT land? Sorry it's been so long. Baseball season, and also it rains every single day. Honestly, if I didn't have things to do outside, I would think it's base weather because it's almost June and it is not hot, which is awesome. But when you try to get stuff done, boy,
Boy.
I hope everyone's comfy. I have some mint tea. I got some like actual fresh mint leaves and cut them up and then put them into. We got these little kind of strainer kind of thing, so made a fresh mint tea. And my question of the part for everyone in the room right now is, if you had to pick one goat flavor, would it be mint or vanilla? Those are my two goats. Like, as general flavors. And I don't mean like vanilla extract, I mean like vanilla stuff. Like pure vanilla. It's tough. I like even stuff like mint ice cream, like mint chocolate chip. Mint tea's like my favorite drink.
Go up.
Over here in us Yoni parts of the world with the Amish and the Mennonites, they make something called meadow tea, which is essentially just like water, mint tea, and a bunch of sugar. But it's really good. It's very light, despite the fact that obviously they use like real sugar in it.
Mint most things is pretty good. I guess it's like a general flavor for like a lot of things. I'd probably choose mint. My favorite flavor for like specific things is definitely blueberry, but you can't have blueberry everything.
No, that's true. I mean, you can have like blueberry does go really well with like because blueberry's not ridiculously sweet. At least blueberries aren't, you know. So it kind of goes good with like a tart and, you know, the sweet kind of thing. So, yeah, very good choice. Although a lot of blueberry stuff, I feel like they probably use like more like artificial blueberry.
Yeah, artificial blueberry is not one of the worst artificial flavors, but I definitely like natural better.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because like a blueberry pie, unless they cake it in sugar, cake pie, it would be like, you know, somewhat tart, which is honestly kind of nice. You are almost laid dead.
I have, every time I go below 15% HP, I get revived once.
Oh, nice.
I have to refill it when... You have to, like, rest on a bench for it to refill. But...
Is there a way later to not get hurt through that? Or
no.
Was that just...
I talked about this earlier, but there was an item in the first game that specifically did exactly that, where it reduced blight damage if you're in the water, or there was an area in the first game where like there was blight in the air, and you just could not do anything in that area long enough until you got that mask. And I was just expecting like getting an item like that in this game because it's so like similar.
Yeah.
This is fine. But yeah. So we're in the Land of Origin. This is one of the last areas in the game. It's kind of weird because there's 3 different entrances. The first entrance is here, the second entrance is here, and then the third entrance is here. So this is like one of the big last areas of the game. We can't do much here right now, but there is one specific item that I really want to get. And there's also there's this water puzzle that it's an obstacle course where you have to go through bladed water. And this actually gets a lot harder as you progress through the game because you get more and more HP. And the blight water does 1/10 of your health every like tick of damage. And when you have a lot of health, you can't recover as much as when you have a big HP bar. Even with like that better armor and the better like HP refills, it becomes a lot harder. So I'm trying to do this like right now.
Well, I mean, since you have that, like, auto-revive thing, that's pretty nice.
But this is going to be very close even with that thing.
Oh, wow.
There's probably some sort of, like, item or setup that makes this a lot easier, but I am not aware of it. Oh, actually, I don't think I can do this. I forgot to equip the armor that gives more HP refill back.
Oh,
I don't
Bobby!
think this is going to be close. Yep. It's right over there. But...
Oh, man. That was close.
But at this point, it's not too hard. I just want to equip the armor That gives me more heal potency. I think 175 is the highest it can go.
We got this, YouTube land.
But I was just practicing this game like 2 weeks ago whenever we stopped doing the last LP. And I actually just like sat down and just played the entire game again because this game's really fun. And this is one of the last things I did because I just forgot about it. And I was like, I cannot do this. I did it like 10 times in a row. I just could not do it because I had a full HP bar. I was like, how do you do this? But the answer is to do it earlier.
Interesting. Yeah, that is... You would not expect that. Also, the jellyfish, I noticed you used it for a while, but then not the whole way. Does...
Whoop. Okay. That might screw me up. It's the dash ability. It only comes out once you dash for a while.
I see. And you have to stop to do that. Yeah.
This is going to be close because I messed up one of those heals. Oh, yeah, we did it.
Wow. And then you can just teleport out, huh?
Yep. And that armor is actually not that great. Like, it's good for me right now, but when I unlock the next shop upgrade for the next set of armor, it's going to be better than this thing. So it's like a weird... I guess they just expect you to do it earlier, or there's some sort of setup that I'm not aware of.
If I may talk about something YouTube related, but in real life, which I find to be funny right now, but I'm going to be seething on Thursday. Okay. So, this Thursday, or I guess a week from today, I'm taking Ash to Pittsburgh to see one of her idols. Her name is Trisha Paytas. She's like an OG YouTuber, like literally from the early or the mid 2000s, like OG angry video game nerd like level, been doing it that long. So she's kind of like infamous. Her like two main claims to fame is she's like tries IRL to be like a Barbie, despite being like a little bit more of like a plus size girl, but like her whole thing is just like pink Barbie, I want to be Barbie kind of thing. And her other claim to fame is that she talks incredibly fast. Like, it's just like, oh my god, Ashley, blah, 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 blah. It's just like, whatever.
And what an idol.
She used to do, yeah. Well, I mean, it's also true, but I guess I like sports people that might not be, you know, great people and whatever. Anyway, so Ash was like, man, Trisha Paytas is coming to Pittsburgh, and I checked the thing, and like, there was no other one like even close to us, and I was like, all right, let's just do this, you know, because like that would be really cool for her to, you know, see this. Okay, so I set this up. I thought it was gonna be some sort of like meet and greet kind of thing, or like a big expo where it's like, hey, it's a question and answer with Trisha Paytas and whatever. I'm so glad to have my fans and whatever. I guess the one thing I forgot to mention is she used to do like vlogging, like back when that was a big thing. So she would do that like every day, and she still does that to an extent. And she does podcasts. And have you ever heard of the podcast H3H3? They're like kind of infamous.
Yeah.
Anyway, she was on that with the
whatever
host,
that guy's name is, Ethan Klein,
and
she was on a
podcast with him called Frenemies, which was like kind of coincide with H3H3. And it was kind of like what it sounds like. Like they were friends, but they didn't get along in a lot of stuff, and obviously big personalities and whatever. And then over the course of time, she started getting into other stuff. Unfortunately, one of them being music videos. And let me tell you, I have never in my life seen a worse singer in my life than Trisha Paytas. Do you remember William Hung?
Do you remember Rebecca Black?
So she could like... She is Freddie Mercury compared to Trisha Paytas.
What? How?
I'm just telling you, I don't think I could play it, and I'm not going to play it because people would die. But she's just the worst singer ever. But, like, her fans, like, accept that. You know, sometimes you're just like, we love Trisha, we don't care, whatever she does, right? Okay. So I set this all up. And recently, in the last 5 years, she's done, like, music videos and music whatever. Okay. And I was, like, talking to Ash the other day, and I was like... Yeah, I'm excited for this Trisha Paytas thing. Like, so what is it like? Does it start with like Q&A or like whatever? And she was like, "Oh no, it's good. It's a concert." And I was like, "Oh, who's playing?" And she was like, "Trisha. It's a Trisha concert. She's singing and dancing and stuff." And you know that meme where Anakin's talking to Padme, and Padme's like, "Oh no, it's this," and Anakin looks at her and doesn't say anything. So I was like, "So it's a Q&A, right?" And she was like, and I was like, "It's a Q&A, right?" So I'm about to see the worst concert in the history of the world. Like, it's gonna be fun because I saw one of the shows, like, there's this whole setup and there's all these dancers and whatever, and like that part is like, it's not poorly set up, right? It's not like, oh my god, this is awful. It's just that she is the worst singer in the history of all time, and it's a concert when I thought it was like a Q&A or like whatever. I don't know what I thought it was, but I did not think it was a concert. Well, and it is a concert.
I guess you should buy some of those like gunshot grade earplugs.
And I was talking to Ash, I was like, well, at least the other husbands, like, will be, like, enjoying it at the same level as me. And she was like, oh, there's not going to be other husbands. Like,
so real quick, talking about this game for 1 millisecond. One of the items that we got in that area was an ancient origin gem core, which is a pretty generic item to upgrade a lot of the last tier upgrades for some of the guys. And this actually lets us upgrade the witch this early. If you go down there real quick. So this is awesome. And also we're getting the special ally core soon. So we're going to have both of our pressure abilities at max upgrade. And in my opinion, both the starter ones are the best ones. So once that happens, this game, I'm not going to say that it's a cakewalk, but it gets significantly easier. And if I die, it'll probably be like once or twice. Anyway, continue.
I was essentially done, so I was just like, at least the other husbands, and she's like, there's not going to be other husbands. Like, the people who like Trisha are like 99.9% women and LGBT people, so it's going to be like the most ridiculously flamboyant whatever thing, and I'm like, alright, whatever. Like, as long as I can not pay, like, because they'll be like dancing and like, oh my god. Part of the show is a My Chemical Romance tribute where she sings My Chemical Romance songs, and I'm like,
and for people that don't, I mean, no one actually knows this, but both me and Spencer like MCR.
Well, not only that, but Gerard Way is a really good singer.
He's really good.
And I like to play music, and I'm not very good at singing, but like there's some stuff I can hit, and there's some stuff I can't. And Gerard Way has a really big vocal range. So, like, some songs like The Ghost of You and stuff like that are really, really hard to hit. And I'm like, my God, Trisha's... And, like, she's just so bad. But the cool thing about her fans is no one's like, no, she's good. Every single person's like, yeah, she's bad, but we don't care. We love her. Like, whatever. And it's like, okay. Like, so there's going to be
I'm sure there's something to like, but the way that you described it sounds like the worst thing ever.
It's just the thing for women and people who generally like more feminine stuff, but like I said, I'm going to enjoy it because she enjoys it. It's just like if she went to like a baseball or a football game with me, she'd be like, I don't even know the rules of this, but he's enjoying it, so whatever kind of thing. But yep, so that's next Thursday. So it'll be interesting. I will say it'll be like an experience I won't forget. So that's pretty cool. And the best part is it's in a theater where it's assigned seating. So it's not like
that's nice.
Yeah, it's not like it's a concert where you're like standing for 4 hours and like, oh, my back hurts, whatever. It's like, I'm sure everyone's going to be standing and dancing and stuff, but I don't have to. So yeah, that's my big thing nowadays. If someone's like, hey, do you want to go to this show? My first and only question is, are there seats? Because I'm not standing in line for an hour, and then for the opener and the music and everything, so I'm standing there, not moving, jammed like a sardine for 5-6 hours. No thanks. But if there's seats, there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance?
So you're saying there's a chance? I am.
Why is Bane saying that?
Well, I know that I've literally never seen the movie Dumb and Dumber, which is where that's from, but I know that Jim Carrey has like a big gap tooth, so I figured he probably has like a little lisp.
Just like every Jim Carrey thing, he just plays as Jim Carrey.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Although he is a pretty good Dr. Robotnik.
If Dr. Robotnik was Jim Carrey.
Yeah, but I mean, he's kind of like Dr. Robotnik from the 90s cartoon. I mean, Dr. Robotnik in that was really, really silly and...
Snoopingus, as usual, I see.
Let's just watch this.
I have watched that clip probably 500 times, and I still have no idea why he says Pingus like that.
It was Jim Carrey getting ready to do the role, bro. Oh man, I never saw Sonic 1 or 2. I did like Sonic 3, the movie. It was pretty good. It was enjoyable.
I heard that the first one is like just really boring. Whoops, wrong button.
I guess what is happening? I figure it probably has to like set up the world and all that kind of stuff.
And they just care about the boring humans a lot. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal with, like, every single IP ever, where it's like, alright, we have this non-human thing that's the main character, and humans that should be supporting roles. They're always like, oh, we gotta focus on... Like, every Godzilla movie, like, ever, at least every American one's like... Oh my god, I mean, I know the movie's called Godzilla, and Godzilla's the main thing, but, like, we really have to focus on this random military guy who has to find his family. Like, that just has to be the focus of this. And, like I said, at least the American ones, please. I know Godzilla fans are, like, literally the most dedicated hardcore fan base. Please don't send me hate mail saying, actually, in Rodan versus Mecha Godzilla. That's, by the way, that's how you sound. If you're gonna mention anything Godzilla to me.
Actually, did you know that Mecha Godzilla something? I don't even know.
The most Giga Chad thing to say to any Godzilla fan, if they're like being annoying about it, is I like Godzilla in 1998. And then when they start seething and ask you why, just say because it's fun. But he looks like a lizard. And like, it was fun, bro. I actually, believe it or not, I watched that. I don't know why I said believe it or not. I watched a movie, guys. Get on the end of your seats. But maybe like, I don't know, a year ago, 9 months ago, I watched it and I was expecting it to be like god awful, and it's honestly pretty good. My only complaint is it is a little too long. Like, they could cut like 30 minutes out of it, but it was honestly pretty solid. I expected it to be like a awful boring time, but I didn't look at my phone once. I was like enjoying it. Like I said, they could have cut a little out, but people act like it's like the biggest bomb of all time. So there you go, Godzilla fans. So deal with it.
Story.
Did you see Godzilla -1?
Nope.
That was excellent.
I don't particularly care about Godzilla.
What? Bobby. There was a couple-month period where I was trying to watch, like, all the ones that were, like, relatively available and not stupid. Like, a lot of the Japanese ones from, like, the 70s and 80s are really, really, really dumb. Like, you've probably seen Godzilla's Son, which is, like... And they didn't have CGI and stuff back then, but it's just, like, a really, really bad suit, and it just involves, like, Godzilla's son, like, dancing around and stuff. And that's pretty bad.
No, that's Kino.
Kino! Nobody blames you.
They just, I don't know what the deal with this guy's eye is. That's the guy that's alive, that's a chief of tutor. I don't know what his eye is. It kind of feels like this story is like incomplete. Maybe it was rushed or something. But I don't think they ever explain that eye.
I just love how anime style is just so easy to like replicate from like game to game and anime to anime. It's just like that character, the eye guy, could have been in My Hero Academia, could have been in maybe not One Piece, but like so many different ones. Like just like every Tales of game, every Legends of Heroes game could have been a character in it. They're just like, yep, it's androgynous guy with white hair and eye thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of homogeneousness to it, that's for sure.
House Frost.
The other thing in that cutscene is they showed Nora, the homunculus next to us, killing the head of House Frost. Ooh, what's happening?
You didn't have to fight a boss?
No, actually, there's no boss in this area. This area is pretty small. As far as I'm aware, there's only 3 areas left in the game, but they are very big. Well, 4 because the Land of Origin. We'll never use it ever. Autonomous abilities are so bad.
That happens a lot, where you just get this ability and you're like, cool, I'm never going to use it.
Yeah, I think there's some abilities that are probably good. Like that samurai dude, his ability is like, it makes you like move with him, is like more movement, which is usually my jam. But after I figured out the how good and broken pressure abilities plus the ring that gives us 1 HP back is, it just feels like it's pointless.
Is that a couch? Let's go.
And we just got the other item to upgrade the best dude. This, in my opinion, is the best ability in the game. And now it is significantly faster. And it's like, we just have this, it does a lot of damage. We have an ability that does that, or a relic that increases pressure damage by 20%. Every single one of these hits is 1 HP back. It's just like, I don't want to say the game's over, but it's still tough and you have to pay attention, but it makes it a lot easier.
I don't want to say it's Jover, but it's Jover.
Yeah, talking about this game not being over, there's a lot of annoying enemies, and those weird, like, sunfish-looking things that, like, charge forward, it just feels like they attack in, like, a second. I can never, like, react to them.
So the Switch 2 comes out, this video will definitely be up on it, comes out next, I guess technically Wednesday night. I'm intrigued to see how everything comes out. There was obviously like a lot of hype. I think this last week it's like kind of quiet while people are just like kind of preparing, you know? There certainly are a lot of games coming out for it, but literally everyone but one is a port from something else, which is kind of interesting. Although people are hyped for like the Cyberpunk one for some reason.
I think it's because it's like the only third-party game that isn't one of those crap-tastic game key card things.
I know Bravely Default is. I'm not sure if Street Fighter is, although
Street Fighter definitely is.
It is. Ugh.
As far as I'm aware, it's like the only one is Cyberpunk.
Wow. I really hope that's one of those things where they do for like a couple months and then just see that stuff does not sell well.
So from what I see, and I take it with a grain of salt if this is actually true, because it's just reading random people online say it. But as far as I'm aware, what's happening is that in the Switch 1, there's a lot of different capacities that publishers could choose from 1 gig to 32 gigs. So it's like 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32.
Okay.
And obviously, like a 1 gig card would be like really cheap. But from what I see, I just want this. Don't kill me. Okay. For the Switch 2, it's either the game key cards, which is probably like, you know, less than 100 megabytes, because it's just basically just a download code on a cart, or 64 gigs with nothing in between, which is why all the third-party publishers are just like going like, well, we can spend $1 per cart or $5 per cart, and obviously they're going to choose the $1 one.
So that's why for the Switch 1, Capcom specifically did that dumb stuff where they had like the Mega Man Legacy Collection. They somehow couldn't fit like 6 Mega Man games, like NES Mega Man games on it, and they're like, oh, you got to download 4 through 6, or I forget the exact thing.
It's definitely possible, and it also just feels like, you know,
and it's also the same.
They're just making it buying used copies less attractive.
Right.
So it could also just be that.
They also did the same thing for that. I hate that Resident Evil triple pack for Switch, because it's Resident Evil 4 on the cartridge, and then 5 and 6 are download codes. Which it's like, you telling me you couldn't fit Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6 on a Switch cartridge?
Yeah, that's probably one of those things where they bought, like, an 8 gig card, and then they're just like, okay, have the rest of it as a download.
Right. And that makes sense. I think it's actually mostly Capcom that did that. Because there were the Mega Man collections, there's a Resident Evil collection. There's a bunch of Mega Man collections that did that. Like, it was the Mega Man X Legacy collection, and you got, like, I think it was the first 4 or 5 on the cartridge, and then, like, 6 through 8 were download codes, and it's like, poor K, why? That's lame. Hopefully, I guess I'll be optimistic that Nintendo can, do something about it where, like, they can maybe make, like, a 16 gig version. Like, you can't go crazy and have, like, 6 different cartridges. That's fine, but maybe, like, a 16 gig would get companies to not do that.
It'd be nice, but, yeah, I don't know what exactly they're thinking. I figured that they knew that this was going to happen, but at least all their games are not going to be on those craptastic carts.
Right.
But it's really not... It's pretty... It's going to suck when the Switch 2 servers go offline in, like, 10, 15 years. I mean, it's going to be a while from now, but, like, a lot of those games are just going to be absolute, like, literal, like, landfill. Because they're just absolutely worthless.
I mean, if you look at the consoles that have always done the best in each generation, they've always universally had a lot of third-party support. Like, even if you look at the Wii, which obviously sold, like, 1 billion units... Nintendo did not have... They had a lot of good first-party games in the first couple of years, but then after that it chilled down, and they at the very least had a lot of third-party support. Whether it's good or bad is one thing and up to you, but... Even the Switch, like, if you don't include Switch Nintendo ports from Wii U games, there's not a whole heck of a lot of Nintendo-based Switch games. The thing that really helped is there's a lot of good third-party support on it, and boy, I hope Nintendo doesn't make the mistake of making third-party support difficult.
Well, I think the game key cards exist because they don't want to scare off third-party publishers. They gave them the cheapest option possible, which is...
Just sucks for the long term, especially with these games being...
I think
lot of them being $70 and stuff is like...
Yeah, I think it's incredibly short-sighted, and... yeah, it's gonna suck in the future.
I will say, CD Projekt Red, I mean, I know that Cyberpunk had an infamously bad start, but they seem pretty based overall.
I think they're pretty cool, and I think Cyberpunk was one of those things where, because they're a Polish developer, and Poland doesn't exactly have the most, like, robust economy ever, I think they were really stuck in a place where it's like, we have to release this holiday of, what was it, 2020?
2020, I think.
2019.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was 2020. I might be wrong.
Yeah, I forget if the pandemic was happening or not. I kind of think it wasn't, but I might be wrong. It might be 2019. If you want to look that up.
I shall. Trevor just pulled a Joe Rogan. Jamie, look that up. Look up when Cyberpunk came out. Oh, thank you. Joe, it was December, hold on, 10th, 2020.
It was certain. That's interesting.
But yeah, I remember seeing in a video that, like, the Polish government either gave CD Projekt Red money,
or partially funded it for sure.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know if it was just tax breaks or if they partially funded it.
But after CDPR got kind of big, after Witcher 3 was a pretty huge success, they got a lot of international like funding as well, like investors. So I think they're really in that place where, like, they've said over and over, it's like, we're going to release it this year, and they delayed it, like,
a lot, yeah.
8 months. I think it was originally supposed to be like April 2020.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, I feel as if they're like, we know it's not ready, but we have to release it, which is why they released it like 2 weeks before Christmas.
Yeah. No, and I get it. It's like they waited to the last moment humanly possible just to make it as like as good as possible. Honestly, looking back on it, they should not have done it on the current gen. They should have just been like waited a year and then did PS5 and Series X.
I think the problem with that is that game was obviously in development for years and years.
Right.
And taking all that work and then porting it to a system that you probably have a dead kick for like a few months at max probably wasn't feasible for them.
No, I get it. It's just, man, running that game on a base PS4 or a base Xbox One. I guess it's patched a lot now, so it's better, but holy moly.
Yeah, I played, I didn't get very far, and I kind of dropped it. Not because it's bad, just because, I don't know, it's not really a game for me. But playing on the PS5, the Ultimate Edition, it seemed pretty good. I didn't really notice any glitches at all.
What are they currently working on? Is it, like, known?
Witcher 4, for sure. They showed a trailer.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was, like, not super known or whatever. Oh, isn't that new Naughty Dog game coming out this year? Like, Interstellar or whatever it's called.
Whatever it is.
You know, the one with the girl drinking the through the straw, all sardonically. Can you believe it?
I think like a lot of people, I just do not care about Naughty Dog anymore.
Oh,